I'm really starting to second guess this. I think I have to call this hike. Good morning, everybody. It's about 5:30 a.m. We are doing a pretty special hike today. It's considered the second hardest hike in America. It's called the Pemi Loop, 30 miles, 10 to 12,000 feet of elevation gain, rugged terrain. I don't know if it was because I was pumped for this hike or whatever, but I got next to no sleep last night. So these first few miles, pretty flat. I've done half of this hike before, and let me tell you what, I was pretty much delirious when I was done. All right, on the Osseo, we're gonna bang up Flume here. If you're into beautiful views, long hikes, pain, suffering, and a little fun on the side, well, you've come to the right place. We're going to be following this ridge line basically. Then out towards the distance here, you'll see all kinds of ridge lines and peaks, and those are all the bonds out there. It's just one big giant loop encircling the Pemi. So with Mount Flume behind us, next up is Mt Liberty. I'm dogging it. I'm feeling the fact that I got no sleep last night. I know I'm stronger than this. Almost 6 miles in, 5.5, 6 miles in, and I'm already at a snail's pace. All right, Liberty, check that one off and slog our way now to Little Haystack. Years ago, I did the half Pemi, which is half of what we're doing right now, basically. That was like a disastrous trip for me almost. I don't know if I was super dehydrated or didn't have enough calories or sleep deprived or what it was, but I mean, I was like delirious at the end of the hike. I remember pulling over to the side of the road because I felt so sick to my stomach. I ended up getting out of my car on the shoulder of the highway and just laying down on the shoulder. I remember staring up at the stars and not even aware that what I was doing was, you know, probably pretty dangerous. I wasn't in my right mind. I ended up getting back in my car, driving a few more miles, but I pulled over to this random rest stop and just passed out for a few hours. My girlfriend at the time, now wife, called me, absolutely panicking. My wife saying she was calling the police. The police came to look for me. They couldn't find me. Ah! Balls! Ah! Just smashed my ankle. You know, I've only done about 3,000 feet of elevation today, but it feels like way more. I feel like I have like no mind-body connection right now. You know, if that makes sense. It's weird, my muscles feel strong. My mind feels weak, which just totally just disappoints me because, God, I've been looking forward to this hike for a long time. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but I literally got no sleep last night. Oh, here comes more hikers past me. Young, old, doesn't matter. They're all just blown by me.
2:15-ish. I stopped my watch a few times and at 2:08, so that's like.
I think I have to call this hike. Well, that's a little haystack. So I'm pushing on. I tried to throw in the towel. Buddy had convinced me otherwise. That right there in the distance is Mount Lincoln. It's going to be our next hit. So let's wrap a little bit about how I'm feeling and kind of my state of mind. So pretty much told my buddy I was throwing in the towel. Said, I can't do this. I didn't get enough sleep, no sleep. And he basically said, man up. So that's what I'm doing. I asked him, I said, do you feel like in my state, I said, would you be able to do this hike? He said, absolutely. I'm officially out of water. Right now we're on Mount Lincoln. We're gonna make our way up to Lafayette right in front of us. Mount Lafayette, baby. We're doing it. We're getting it done. Okay, I laid down for a good 20 minutes and closed my eyes, and that felt very refreshing. Nice views again. That is Garfield right there. Again, we got the bonds, and that's where we're heading right now. We got to go down to go back up, but I think once we get to Garfield, they'll have some water there. We're slogging up Garfield. This is one of the steeper parts of this whole hike here. About 0.3 miles, we'll be at the top of Garfield. We'll be able to fill up some water. That'll be good. I'm dying. It's always the last push that's the hardest, you know. There's the actual summit right there. Just to give you some perspective, we got Flume, Liberty, Haystack, Lincoln, and right there's Lafayette. So we came up from the back side there. So that was our first peak for today.
Go the full Pemi. You can. I know I can. I just feel like my feet know they can now. Let's do it. Nah, it would be irresponsible.
Okay, now we just got to push our way to this next water source here. Man, I don't know what I did to one of my toes on my right foot. I feel like I bent the toenail back somehow. Oh, I can hear that water off in the distance. That sounds good. Yes. Oh, she's flowing good, dude. Oh, what a sight for sore eyes. Buddy. Woo! Oh, it looks so crystal clear and clean, too. Oh, baby.
Yo, your trekking poles got no handles.
Yeah, because they're not trekking poles.
What are
Tent poles.
Yes! That's
Dude,
the
that's
best
sick.
information ever.
Wow.
And they stay up, they don't collapse?
Yeah, they collapse.
No, I mean when you trust them not to collapse when you're putting your weight on them.
Yeah, they don't. What's been happening is like it gets stuck in the mud.
Oh, and they pull
like,
out.
This happens.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, it helps so much.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing, yeah.
I was looking at those, man. I'm like, what happened to you?
I know.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. God, dude.
Definitely not for taste.
I feel that going straight down.
Is it good or bad?
Kind of bad, but but I know it's good for me.
How do you like that Durston pack?
Yeah, I'm trying out so much new stuff.
That's new for you too?
Yeah, I got the Durston with the X-Men too.
Nice.
Just for my girlfriend and I to have.
Yeah.
So far good, but the footprint is so massive.
That's
like,
what I heard. I hear it's a pretty straightforward setup with the Durston.
super. I mean, it's the two trekking poles that I'm using.
Well, hell, that means they're durable, right?
This is definitely not the use case, but they passed the test because I was throwing all my weight on them. The pack itself feels great.
Yeah, I've liked the pack. He's actually designing trekking poles right now.
Yeah, they're sold out.
Oh, really?
They were sold out in one day.
Yeah, people go nuts over that Durston here. Sergio,
Just got gifted this trekking pole.
So Sergio has been using his tent poles.
Which I've been coming off.
And you know what, dude? I got plenty of trekking poles at home, so I'm just gonna gift him this one. And I just hope it helps you in your hike, man.
It really will. Thanks a lot, man.
Very, very welcome.
Really, really appreciate it.
Be safe, be well. Love you, brother. Decided to give away my trekking pole to a young man who needed it more than I. You can get by with one trekking pole. You don't need no fancy equipment. I had to help that guy out. It just broke my heart. Seeing him use his tent poles for trekking poles, and not only that, super dangerous, honestly. Those poles, dude, I've had those since I started backpacking. That pole actually accompanied me on the long trail. Still got the other one, but sometimes you just got to do the right thing. It's not about the crap you have. It's not about the gear. It's about all the memories that you form, the people you meet along the way, and the good deeds you can do. Sergio, I hope you enjoy that, my friend. I hope it makes your hike a lot easier. And you better subscribe. Sergio, I'm looking at you, buddy. Okay, on the South Twin, which is about 1.7 miles from here, about 1,300 feet of elevation gain, so it's going to be a pretty good uphill, it looks like, considering I'm still going downhill. Like a lot of this trail, got to go down to go up. Oh, we got a sign here. Let's see what it says. South Twin. Gosh, we're so close. Starting to feel this hike, definitely. I am pretty beat. Very tired. Pretty much going at a snail's pace. This incline's pretty intense. Alright, South Twin completed. So now it's on to the bonds. That elevation gain, golly, that just totally wiped me. I am wiped.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Now just Mount Bond, Bond Cliff. Those are our two remaining peaks for today. There's Washington right there, so you got the presidential range. Mighty fine, beautiful day to hike that as well. Looks like everybody's getting ready to hit the hay at Gio's shelter there. I've stayed in those overflow tinting spots many times. This is the epitome of type 2 fun. I know I'm going to get out of this forest and just be so elated that we did this hike. Just trying to keep things in perspective because we'll be proud. We'll be proud of what we did. The bonds, Mount Bond, Bond Cliff especially, in my eyes, some of the best views in the White Mountains. If we keep our pace going, probably going to get there for sunset. Bond Cliff's right around the corner. That's my favorite mountain in the whole White Mountains. I have a very special affinity for Bond Cliff. So all the bonds got their name from a professor from Harvard, actually, Professor Bond. He was kind of one of the first to draw pretty darn detailed and accurate maps of this section of the Whites. And I guess he did such a good job that they decided to name several peaks after him, not just one. Almost to Bond Cliff here. Maybe about 100 yards. Getting a nice little sunset. Looks beautiful. All right, so Bond Cliff is done. I had to break out my camera light because, well, it's dark. Sorry I couldn't show you more of this mountain, but it is spectacular. Let's slog our way down this peak. Be careful while doing so. I'm going to break out my headlamp here shortly. I'm not going to bore you with the return hike. It's nothing to see anyway, so please subscribe. I really appreciate you coming along, and I'll see you later.